Hello, and welcome to my stream today, where I am very, very late, and I apologize for it. I had to take care of something randomly before the stream, so yeah. I've been doing well. I'm doing quite alright. Hey, fishy. TB late. Listen, okay? Uh, Normally, I'm a little late. Today, I am very late. You know. Whoops. It's... How do I say this? It could be more ideal. However, today we're going to continue More Girls Frontline. Where last week you'd blown. No, it's fine, fishy. Ah. Today we return to the endless events. Because last week we finished one event, which now leads us to the next one. Because Continuum, actually no, Asoma is done. So next up is Shattered Connection. Which is an event. Joe is an event. Welcome to yet another event interface. As you can see, it's a bit different. It's split into 5 chapters. Grab a blanket because I'm getting cold. Funnily enough, it's not actually cold. I am getting cold though, so I have the feeling that I might be getting sick again, which would be bad. I think I just got over a fucking flu. I would rather not have it again. But at the same time, we had 2 people at work that had to go home early because of Corona. So, you know. There we go. Chapter 1, Talon. Quiet Presence. Talon, Estonia mentioned. Not for the best reasons. I love Eartha. Who is this? Employee 1 fumbles through the impenetrable darkness following the voice. You came? I knew you would. Who are you? Are you talking to me? Employee stumbles forward as she follows along, and discovers a faint light coming from a point not too far away. It seems to be some kind of cave exit. What is the Scuff Christmas event? Where's the farm at? During last year's Christmas event, the farm map was just integrated into the normal game. Where after you finish the first map the first time, it unlocks a new path. A new path that allows you to farm. So yeah. I don't know how it works this time around, I haven't started it yet, so yeah. Amthor leaves the dines and arrives in a field of pure white flowers. The wave of fragrances that washes over her is so overpowering it stinks the nose a little. The intense brightness of suddenly arriving in the outside world is a little too much for Amthor, and she covers her eyes. Squinting at the lights, her blurred vision picks up someone standing in the middle of a sea of flowers. You are... Father told us that we were connected. But it is only now that I realize he was not referring to me and her, but to everyone. What are you talking about? If you can speak to me now, that means you are my friend. Come to where we are, with the will that you bear. The will that I bear. We all spring from the same source. She and I, you and it, we are all the same. Therefore, we ought to return to the same place, shouldn't we? Four. Employee 1. Hey, M4? M4! What's going on here, 15? You tell me. Did something happen to your NeuroCloud again? You've been spacing out more and more often lately. I'm fine, there's no need to worry. I sure hope so. Things have only just gotten back to normal. It would be terribly ironic if something went wrong with you again. Sorry to make you worry. I told you not to make contact with that thing too often. No, what happened just now wasn't because of that. Honestly, forget it. What's the position? Our coordinates are LD 342-51790 on the outskirts of Talon. Well, we've walked a long way and haven't found any threats in this region. Let's head back. Ro's calling us. Ro and Sub have finished searching the sectors. We need to keep pace with them. Don't keep them waiting. Alright, let's go. Yeah. Lunasia. Ignacio. What do you want? I already told you that I don't want to hear your voice unless it's an emergency. I just wanted to inform you that I can sense a presence nearby which resonates with me. And why are you going out of your way to tell me this? Because it feels very strange. I've never felt anything like this before, and that typically implies danger. Hey Terry, how are you doing? Is that so? Since you're saying you've never felt this before, then it probably isn't a Night or 16, right? It's not quite the same, I can't be sure. All I can say is that it's a signal that's similar to ours. Just now, someone forced a connection to me. It seems they were trying to tell me something. I saw it too. Do you need me to backtrace it? You don't need to do anything. I'll decide what should be done. You've grown stronger. Because I had to. Existed. I mean, I feel that. At the same time, somewhere outside of Talon. Bro, I'm bored! Calm down. I've already sent a transmission to M4 and A15. I've told them to meet us here. Still, you'll probably feel bored even when they get back. After all, we're still on a mission. Nah. Feels like the time just flew by after we were reunited. We barely had a chance to talk. Yes, hi board, I'm Ro. I understand how you feel, but let's focus on the mission for now. We've got a lot of time ahead of us, enough for us to talk as much as we want, provided what happened before doesn't happen again. Ha! I'll never let that happen. Same here. None of us want to be separated again, so be careful and keep an eye on your surroundings. Speaking of which, there's no sign of the Griffin doll who went in before us. Did they run into trouble? Huh? Wait a minute, do you feel that, Ro? It's like something's watching us from nearby. Don't say weird things like that, it sounds spooky. It's true, and it's close by. Bearing 260, 25 meters away, behind the bushes. Alright. It said USSG 3000, you can come out now. Oh, I didn't expect you to find me so soon. Members of the AR team really are something else. The doll hidden in the distance disables the thumb up the camouflage of her cloak and approaches them in greeting. Can you not point your gun at me? I'm SSG 3000 doll from Griffin Recon Group A. Pleased to meet you. I told you someone was there. See, Ro? I was right. You. Why are you hiding there and spying on us without saying a thing? Well, how shall I put it? Occupational disease, I guess? You guys are a hot topic among our echelon. Being able to observe members of the legendary AR team through my scope is a rare opportunity. Huh? Do people really care so much about us? I thought hardly anyone would recognize us since we always carry our ops on. That's enough, so no need to mention things that aren't relevant to the mission. So you're a member of the forward recon team that entered Talon, but you're here now. Did you get separated from your teammates? Yes, my friends and I proceeded to Talon immediately upon receiving our orders, but we encountered some kind of strange interference and we lost contact shortly afterwards. Looks like our new friend has arrived. Ru looks up and sees the silhouette of M4 and SCAR and AR-15 on a peak in the distance. Are they the other members of the AR team? If so, how about waiting for them to come so I can come over so I can brief you all at once? That way I won't have to repeat myself. And that's what happened. So you didn't find any trace of the Paradise nearby? That's right. Before I got separated from my other teammates, the only things we encountered were a few elite infectees, contaminated creatures, and some unmanned defensive devices that haven't been maintained in a long time. Before, did you guys find anything? That's the strangest thing. We didn't find traces of anything suspicious either. Perhaps we're a step ahead of those white bastards for once. Talon is the intercontinental railway hub that's closest to the Paldiski submarine base, which once housed the Pike nodes. There's no way the enemy would just let us pass without incident. Even if Paradeus did, SF and the military wouldn't. We won't get anywhere with just sitting around and playing guessing games, right, Anthol? If we want to learn the answer, all we can do is continue pushing into Talon. The truth will be revealed eventually. Subs writes, nothing will come of waiting here. Commanders train us to pass through Talon City Station in order to get past Talon, and the city will be the perfect site for an ambush. So no matter what, it seems we can't avoid venturing deeper into Talon. It doesn't matter. I didn't come here expecting an uneventful train ride. And Paul looks at the altogether Gryffindors and takes a deep breath. This time I won't let anyone get hurt or taken away. I need to become stronger. I'm different from how I was back then. I can do this. And Paul, is there anything you'd like to tell us? Well, there's a lot I'd like to say. I should probably make it quick. Although we're all gathered here now, that hasn't improved things much. The sooner we realize that, the better we'll be able to prepare for the situation ahead of us. But no matter what comes next, there's nothing for us to fear. I can't promise anything more than this, but I do hope that this time I'll be able to bring everyone home together. Ah, that speech didn't sound terribly encouraging. Looking back, SSG realized that the Dorthranta all have complicated expressions on their faces. The AR team doesn't need special encouragement to complete our missions. For us, bringing everyone home is the best motivation. We'll overcome any difficulties for the sake of that goal. We'll keep you safe too, of course. People always say special ops dolls are arrogant and smug. But maybe that's not the case. Sounds like everyone in your team has a story to tell. Yes, they're all very long stories. Would you like to hear them once we completed the mission? My team leader once said that movie characters who make promises like that almost always end up dying. Just kidding. Maestro's still on Soppo's shoulder. Because Soppo decided to keep the Dynagate. It's not Rodo. Speaking of which, I've gotten separated from my team, but they didn't run into any enemies. But if they didn't run into enemies, they'd have gone further into the city to scout. So what should we do next? I've already pinpointed the position for you. Go meet up with your team and carry on with the previous mission. Thank you. I'll make a move first then. And Paul turns around and faces the other members of her team. The commander's already confirmed that our mission is now to scout out the Talon City Station. Let's move out. Paul looks towards the objective, where a few sets of railway tracks can be seen extending in a straight line across the sprawling plains, connecting to the distant horizon. The dazzling sunshine blends with the scenery, making Talon Skyline appear like a mirage. So there's a signal which can resonate with OGAS. Once we get there, we'll find out exactly what it is. Oh. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Let me just quickly drink something, because my throat is dry. Now, this event is quite a ride, honestly. Each chapter isn't too long, but at the same time, it's honestly very well made. Quiet presence, combat. I believe that there was not much story in the combat missions here. If any. Yeah, it's just some basic combat. Is it just command posts or unlimited enemies? Are you avoiding the enemies? Actually, I think it's the same amount of steps. Oh well. But yeah, Ro being on Soppo's shoulder is actually still a part of Soppo's mod 3 as well. Like, if you upgrade it, they'll be the Ro on her shoulder the whole time. Brr. Machine gun strong. Now this is just gonna take a moment. The enemy will randomly move around, but that doesn't really matter because we're just gonna go straight for the command post. Honestly, I could have probably just skipped this map in general, or in total, because it's literally just walk 4 steps, win. It's not really anything special here, yet. This being the first mission of the event. Speaking of event, by the way, big event coming soon. I am damn curious, which will also lead to EN being on par with the Chinese server for the first time in ever. 2 jobs. So yeah. On the outskirts of Tallinn, on the roof of an abandoned building. 45, they're on the move. Well, it's about time. They've been twiddling their thumbs outside the city for too long. Should we catch up with them right away? There's no need for that. The mission we were given was provide electronic support for Griffin, not charge into battle. Besides, if P4 looks back at the members of Squad 404, how do your brand new buddies feel? I hope you've all gotten used to them. Yeah, this, by the way, was the event where all of 404 got the mod 3s, which is... yeah. Thank you very much for the follow, GFX Anna. It's pretty good, but I prefer a cool arm like yours, 45. Sure, if that's what you want, then I'll rip one of your arms off right now and give you mine. That's a little... Now, if you said you wanted an arm that could do a rocket punch, I could consider that. To tell you the truth, I don't feel any different from before I was upgraded. I just proves your NeuroCloud is so old that it can't keep up with the new models. Go get it formatted and put a new one in. If my NeuroCloud is old, then yours is only fit for being put into a microwave. That sounds nice. I'd like a new body to try a new body myself. If you could add a pair of noise-cancelling headphones, a massage belt, and a heated vest, I'd be able to sleep. I mean, fight better. Pre-upgrade 416 better. The hat is a bit stupid. That's my only complaint about it. I don't like the new hat. The tiny hat looks so dumb. I'm sorry, but Squad 44 doesn't have enough money left in the budget to spare for lazybones who always slacks off and who is eminently disposable. No way. I follow you in every job, don't I? Please give me credit for all the suffering I've gone through. Sleeping during missions is a form of AWOL, you know? After deducting double wages for it, things aren't quite as simple as that. Who knows, you might end up owing us money instead. Oh, I like that. That's 9 for you. While that evil idea was yours, I'll be claiming it as mine from now on. Happy to help, 45. Are the 2 of you actual devils? Honestly, if the hat just wasn't tiny, I'd probably be completely fine with this. But unfortunately, the hat is absolutely tiny, and kind of looks stupid. So I paid an hourly rate when we're on missions, then could I get my overtime wages in one lump sum? Right, enough chatter. Yeah, soaked us for a ton this time around. Not just for your modifications, but also the bill for my maintenance last time. To be frank, the pay for this job is really stingy. It wouldn't be enough to pay for your upgrades even if we got the full amount. But you still took the job anyway. Is it because you don't want to owe the commander a favor? Or do you have some kind of personal aim? Griffin's goals and my goals coincide. With that and the fact that they're willing to pay, it makes them the ideal clients. In any case, we've lost contact with Angie, and Persica got in touch with us in person, so something isn't quite right here. If this job really was as simple as just protecting the AR team as Persica said, then you wouldn't have needed to spend as much money to upgrade me. I could have handled it with my original specs. Do you really think so? You're as thick as ever, my little dumbcop. I'm starting to feel that upgrading you was a wasted investment. Are you telling me that we're not actually here to protect them? We might be the most outstanding foxes in the business, but it would be ridiculous to hire foxes to protect lions. This time our real job is to monitor the AR team's movements and communications. Could it be something like how Angie wanted us to keep an eye on M4's strange condition last time? Right on target, 9. Persica noticed something too, which was why she came to us. While Griffin's commander didn't say as much whilst handing down this mission, it was more or less obvious enough to me. Still, there doesn't seem to be anything strange about M4 in the video the drone's showing us, is there? She talks to her teammates frequently, looks pretty cheerful, and her movements are all very animated. You can't tell anything just from her external appearances. When it comes from M4 as she is now, we need to form a connection to her neurocloud to see if anything's up. After so long, she should be used to, or rather, she should have become better at hiding the existence of her other self. The other self? Do you mean something like a split personality? Do adults get mentally ill too? So you're saying that M4 is still dealing with the SF mastermind? Like when we were fighting with the military? No, the situation's a bit more complicated than that. I can sense two signals that aren't based on the Xena protocol. One of them is occupies the same location as M4. That would be the other M4. As for the other one, UMP-45's gaze drifts off the distance and settles on the abandoned city of death that is nothing but ruins. There's another signal coming from the heart of Talon. It keeps trying to force a connection with any port it can find. You mean it can perform a hack from so far away? But I don't sense any signals at all. It's a special kind of signal. Looks like Talon isn't just ruins and rubble after all. Of course, however... I remember this burning sensation. Just accessing the records makes me feel like I was melting. I hate it. It's just like that time. 45? 45, are you alright? I'm fine. I just accidentally made contact with that signal. Is connecting to that signal dangerous? Since when have we taken the missions that weren't dangerous? As you can see, I'm going to be spending a great deal of neurocloud processing power on monitoring my ports and finding the signal. Which is why I upgraded you lot. Not only was it to enhance the capabilities of your existing EW modules, but also gave you more powerful command processors, enough to temporarily take over from me in case of an emergency. Let's see, I get it now. We're going to from 1 millstone around our next to 2. In that case, my original body would have had a hard time handling that. In any case, the enemy we're facing this time around will probably be capable of neurocloud attacks beyond our wildest imagination. Otherwise, we'll need to be mindful of a neurocloud firewalls before we enter Talon and prepare defensive protocols. 45, if need be, I can help to share the load with you. I appreciate the thought, 9. But when the time comes, we'll need every gun we can get. Don't forget that. Let's go. Our objective is Talon City. Keep your distance from the AR team. Payment doesn't really matter. Getting closer to the truth of what really happened that day is enough. And thus, Squad 404 is involved yet again. Tracing the source. 12 hours ago. Commander, it's the gentleman from IMP. Finally, patch him through via the encrypted channel. Alright, 1 second. Ah, my esteemed Commander, it's been a while. Did you enjoy your trip to Belgrade? I wouldn't say I enjoyed it. No, why not? Most of the residents made it to shelter in time. You managed to seal the opening before it was too late, and now the decontamination project is underway. You were successful in minimizing the damage. That was very commendable in itself. That is a gross understatement of the devastation of Belgrade and the loss of its people. I will never take credit by exploiting their suffering. Not bad at all. There aren't many who are as sentimental as you in this day and age. You may consider me cold-blooded, but you aren't wrong in your assessments. I have seen too much of my youth, so I'm rather desensitized to misery. Well, won't you forgive an old man for his callousness? Now let's end the small talk. After all, we're both busy bees. Still, where should I begin? Guess I'll start with State 6's response. To put it simply, they were so satisfied with your performance, they all but burst into the dance right in front of me. Yes, that's so. I honestly thought I was going to be executed for having failed to stop an entire city from becoming a contamination zone. If Statesec really wanted to apportion blame, they would have to execute a few truckloads of information analysts and Statesec agents before they finally got to you. I'm sure they'd much rather make a hero out of you than turn you against you and hold you accountable. And what about the poor Ambassador Roshan? An unfortunate case of collateral damage. More importantly, the chairwoman's life was saved and the terrorist heinous crimes were fully captured and broadcasted all over the world, so you assisted Statesec in completing the mission perfectly. Speaking just from the results, everything is progressing in our desired direction. The problem is the collateral damage could have been avoided. If Statesec had shared the intelligence with us from the start, or at least heeded my warning. Oh, stop, my dear Commander. You aren't the only one unhappy with Statesec. Many, including me, have quite a lot to say about the methods. But you yourself have had dealings with them in the past, so you should know full well that it's meaningless to complain. It's even more meaningless to complain to me. What can I do after you whine to me about your grievances? Do you expect me to repeat your yammering to the chief? Not to mention, you do have plans of your own. I have no idea what you're talking about. I know what you're planning with Angie. That must have been the funniest joke I've heard in a while. I followed the intel that you provided and went to Belgrade on a wild goose chase for Angie. Now you're saying I'm in touch with her? Commander, I may have no hope of comparing with you in commanding Dawson battle, but when it comes to analyzing intelligence, I'm way ahead of you. You've been deliberately avoiding any mention of Angie in your communications logs, but looking at the combat results in that time frame, your forces were perfectly in sync with Angie's task force to fly. We have Persic and a brilliantly designed neuroclouds to thank for, don't you think? The situation was absolutely chaotic back then, so most of the battles were fought at the discretion of dolls equipped with command modules. Even you know that I was trapped in the cathedral for a good part of the entire operation. Oh, that reminds me, when these dolls equipped with command modules returned from the fire to Griffin, did you question regarding Angie's whereabouts? I clearly remember that the job I gave you was to find Angie. Surely you haven't forgotten, Commander. Neither of us wants to show them our entire hands. The same goes for Statesec, obviously. It's not a bad thing to keep a few secrets to yourself, but if even an amateur like me can tell, then a conniving bastard like Zelensky will definitely see through your little ruse as well. My excuse did sound pretty pathetic when you put it that way. Still, no matter what you suspect, I really can't tell you what I don't know myself. Good. You know how to keep your mouth shut, especially after Angie committed treason and seized the Pike Note. You don't disappoint. But you don't have to worry too much. Since you willingly handed over the core of the Pike Note, the Chief of Statesec still believes Griffin is loyal. Why does Statesec want the Pike Note so desperately? What exactly are they planning to do with it? They wonder about the same thing, except the subject of the question is the military. Having analyzed the core you returned with, Statesec now have a grasp over the military's intentions. They'll then deploy their agents to the storage facilities all over the world and follow the military's conspiracy. Just like that. So simple. It really is that simple. What happens next has absolutely nothing to do with me, you, or Griffin. At least, that was Statesec's plan. I'm sensing a but. Ha! Exactly. But our job isn't over yet. Your next destination... Why did that give you a push notification? That's kind of dumb. Enjoy your points, though, I guess. Your next destination is the Paldiski submarine base in Estonia. According to a source, there are traces of Paradise movements near the base. Military forces are also on their way there. Didn't you just say Statesec would stop the military from taking the Pike Note? Indeed, you heard that right. This whole watch streaks thing is a waste of space. Should go resub? Well, Bakasura, the thing is, I do like the concept of the watch streaks. It encourages people to get into the streams more often, and at the same time, it rewards them for it. The notifications for it are the problem. You shouldn't get a notification for it, especially not a push notification. Because that is just annoying. Having it just exist and be like, hey, if you tune in, you get more points. That's kind of nice. Don't like the notification button and the highlight part. Yeah. You've been in 3 streams. Ooh. Then why are they sending Griffin halfway across the continent to do that job? Because that facility won't actually contain a pike note. Pardon? One question. Have you ever heard of a man known as Licorice? I have. Well, Lyco is what he's usually called. You mean the chief engineer of Sangus Ferry Industries? I've seen that name before in the documents that Persica gave me. Yes, that's him. Licorice was the one who designed the Sangus Mastermind, codenamed Eliza. You probably know that already. My point is, the data that Lyco used to recreate Eliza was derived from the pike node A51241 through inverse operation. And that pike node is currently stored within the Poldiski submarine base. So Eliza isn't exactly a dupe. Lyco had integrated a lot of his own original ideas into the design. It was truly a stunning feat of genius. Still, the coding of the basic frames are quite recognizable. In other words, you can think of that particular pike node as Eliza's blueprint. State6 thinks this is just another one of the many regular pike nodes, just how I used to assume that the butterfly incident was purely an accident. If you click on the points redeem, half the window that opens is not point redeems because the header is just massive and the rest is taken up by the damn watch stream notification which never goes away. I suppose. Yeah. The concept is still... I like the concept. Implementation is a problem. But this series of events have led me to believe that Sangus Ferry, the military, and Paradeus aren't merely parallel lines that just so happen to have intersected. And the Poldiski submarine base is where it all began. My god, how many points do you have? Again, right? I know that I've said this before. If you have any ideas for more point redeems, hand them over to me. I'll see what I can do, or if I like them. Because I do want more of them. I just don't know what to do with them. Because I am seemingly very uncreative. I have like no points compared to that. Same pro. Wow. Well, shit. I think you can take control of this facility before the evidence is destroyed. That should also be quite helpful for the friend that you don't want to admit you've made. Because you don't click that green button, have stream open in a browser even. Yeah, that's fair. About that green button. There's certain things, like FFC, that lets you auto-click them. Which is nice. Javier, you... BTTV connects them for you? Yeah. I know this isn't going to be an easy job. Both Poldiski and Talon have long since been ghost towns. It's a huge risk sending you into a red zone. Yeah, but you still gotta have... Yeah, I know. Also, Commander, the more we learn about the truth behind the butterfly incidents, the closer we are to the dangerous pit of flames. You've been miraculously lucky so far, which is a very important reason why I'm willing to place my bets on you, but don't count on the goddess of luck's blessing every time. I appreciate your concern, Mr. Javier. I think I know. No, you have no idea. You couldn't have made it this far if you weren't a busybody, who would risk your own life for someone else's sake, Commander. That young lady, Persica, I mean, will soon find out that you are heading towards Poldiski, and she'll ask all sorts of unreasonable things of you. You need to learn how to say no to people, or one day your luck will run out. What if I say no? You're a fast learner, Commander, but that's why I'm merely asking a favor, not giving you a commission this time. Take care. I hope you'll still be this sprightly next time I see you. Transmission ends. 12 hours later. Hello, Commander. Are you up yet? Just come in. Still thinking about your conversation with Mr. Javier yesterday? I thought I was fully prepared, but he's still way ahead of me. That old gentleman was quite talkative. You must have learned something that was worth looking into. He did say a lot, but he only told us what he wanted us to know, and he's already planned several moves ahead. I suppose we should be glad that he's on Griffin's side, at least for now. Don't worry too much about what comes later, Commander, because there are many headache-inducing problems that require attention right now. The Intercontinental Railway will arrive in the outskirts of Tallinn in around 10 minutes, and the recon echelons have already submitted their reports. As you anticipated, the only transport hub connected to the Poldiski base, Tallinn, has long since been in a state of lockdown due to severe contamination. The AR team, who's gone to scout ahead, reached the same conclusion. If the quarantine wall around Tallinn remains closed, our train won't be able to advance any further. They now await new directives from you. So soon? I thought I could at least get some sleep. We didn't move Griffin's command center onto the Intercontinental Rail so that you can have an extravagant berth, Commander. All T-Dots are prepped and ready to move out as soon as the train stops and you give the word. Looks like the itinerary for this trip will be much busier than Belgrade's. Reunion with old friends. On the outskirts of Tallinn. By the way, just as a guess. Just as a prediction thing. Actually, you know what? Speaking of prediction. Can't I? Can't I? Okay. I can. Now, this is technically something that... Now, I'm gonna let you have... Yeah, 30 minutes sounds good. I'm gonna start a prediction here. You have half an hour to commit points to this question, because I just got the idea, hey, what if I let you guess on what the expected enemy of this is? Actually, hang on a minute. Can I actually change that again? Give me a moment. I think that I might have done a mistake here. Shit. Delete. Wrong. Too risky might jeopardize your chances at double VIP. I can't double VIP you! I'll give it 10 minutes. 30 minutes might be a little bit exaggerated. On the outskirts of Tallinn. Commander, in the last 2 hours, unknown signals originating from Tallinn have been continuously trying to connect with M4. Other than that, there's been nothing out of the ordinary. No other Griffin dolls have come under electronic attacks. We will continue to provide a defensive support. That's it for my routine report. We need to keep up with the pace and head further into Tallinn. Is that so? I see. Keep in touch. Commander, do you have a moment? No problem on my end so far. Is it a transmission from the advanced team? That's always a priority. Whenever they get in touch, just patch them through directly. No, it's from 16 up. It's Miss Persica. Here she comes, exactly as Javier predicted. Put her through. Ah, Commander. Long time to see. Well, I've actually got a lot to say, but now that we're finally talking face to face, for some reason... It's been months since we last spoke. I'm glad to hear from you. Good heavens. Has it really only been months? Hasn't even been a year. It feels like it's been ages. Yes, I'm sure these last few months have been really rough for both of us. Commander, I'm actually getting in touch to discuss M4, am I right? Oh. As far as I remember, you've never called me for any other reason, so it's an easy guess. Then I'll cut right to the chase. I've been trying to get to the bottom of the butterfly incident this whole time. The place where you're going from your current mission is immediately related, intimately related to both Lyco and the incident itself. However, ever since the last classified military operation, I've been under heavy surveillance and haven't been able to get in touch with my girl from the AR team. I saw the news coverage on Belgrade. It looks like I've really fallen behind on the recent developments. So where's the AR team? They're away on a mission. I was just about to contact the advanced team that M4 is accompanying and check on their progress in Talon. Would you like me to set up a channel for you? No, I think we should wait. To be completely honest, I don't really know how to deal with her. It always feels like she's avoiding me. I think it might benefit M4's mental state to catch up with an old friend during this brief period of free time before the battle begins. It's still rather not. So, Miss Persica, you want to help M4, yet you don't want to face her. Why is that? It's hard to explain. If you have any job for me or planning to ask me a favor, then I'd like to know why. Shouldn't you PMCs act like proper mercs? Just take the money and don't ask any questions. They'll pay you in full. I would have agreed to that in the past. However, right now I must take the safety of all Griffin members, humans and dots, into consideration. You want to protect your beloved creation? Well, I also want to protect my important subordinates. Do you honestly think you can buy our mutual trust with money, Persica? Persica falls silent when confronted with such a sharp question. After a long time, she finally lowers her head in defeat. I owe that girl, M4, too much. M4's especially precious to me. I wanted to protect her to the best of my ability, and that's how the AR team came to be. I kept loading her with unnecessary burdens just to shape her into the perfect masterpiece in my vision. I didn't realize my mistake until she left. What on earth have I done? To satisfy my own selfish desires, not only did I hurt her, I also kept letting her companions get taken away. I even set her loose back into this cruel and hostile world. My dearest friend got seriously injured because of this. Persica, all birds must leave the nests eventually. M4 never stopped growing. We are all witnesses to her achievements. You should have more faith in your child. It's not what I meant, but yes, you are right. I have another question. How do you find out I'm going to Talon? If there's a security loophole in an intelligence system, I must find and seal it. I've been trying to search for you in the AR team for a long time, but to no avail. But since the media have captured so many traces of doll activity in the Belgrade incidents, I was able to surmise that you and the Griffin dolls were all safe. Also, Javier seemed to be quite concerned and watchful about the serious events, so I looked into the transaction records of his personal account. Oh, so I suppose other than killing Mr. Javier, there is no other way to plug up the leak. Can't be out then. Right now that my question was answered, let's return to the subject. What kind of services would you like me to provide? I was going to ask you to call back the AR team and have them return to 16 Lab, or at least move them away from the front lines to a safer location. But having listened to you, I think I might have almost made another wrong decision. With the operation already be underway, any random changes to my commands or the deployment of our forces would only cause unnecessary confusion. Even if you had made that request, I wouldn't have agreed to it. Besides, I have a feeling that M4 is seeking something. I believe even if I give that order, she wouldn't be willing to leave just like that. I just clicked on the fucking homepage thing. I suppose you're right. Sorry, I was being inconsiderate. It's understandable. Callan, could you give Miss Persica permission to access our command system as an observer? Huh? I certainly can, but giving an outsider direct access to a battle situation? Are you sure about that? BFE from the commander. Persica designed the drones we use to transmit our signals. She and 16 Lab have been supporting Griffin the whole time, which makes her hardly an outsider. We're going to face many unknown threats in this operation, so I hope Miss Persica can lend us wisdom in helping us stay clear of danger. Alright, I trust your judgment. Miss Persica, I've given you access clearance as an observer. From now on, you'll be able to connect to a battlefield surveillance channel. If you see anything suspicious or potential threats, please notify me. However, I'll still have the final say when it comes to making any decisions. Is that acceptable, Miss Persica? Thank you, Commander. I'll do my best to repay you afterwards. How about treating you to a coffee? What? You said you would make me coffee back when we first met. Oh, jeez, what's wrong with me? I completely forgot about that after I moved. By the way, I put lots of sugar in my coffee. Sure. Lovely. And you've also got a sweet tooth, haven't you? That's a great discovery. I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Anyway, it's decided then. When everything settles down, I'll invite you to my lab. Outside the Intercontinental Railway Station, Tallinn. A gunshot breaks the silence that sits upon the ruins. More shots follow and grow increasingly frequent. Phew, that was close. Bro, you alright? Fine, Sam. We haven't run into Paradeus, but there are automatic weapon platforms everywhere. Objective is to find a safe path for the train to proceed towards the base in Tallinn. If we leave the defensive facilities be, there's no way the train can pass through the city without taking damage. We must eliminate the mortars along the railway tracks. That's true, but some of these turrets are even protected by force fields. Very nasty. They're giving us a one-sided beat down here. It's uncertain if we can even withdraw safely, let alone take them out. We need support from the Hawk. The Hawk are still with the commander. It'll take them a while to catch up. Bro, aren't you equipped for electronic warfare? Can't you hack into the operating system of those mortars and take control? You make it sound so easy. The problem is that these old turret models switch to an entirely closed circuit once they've been set to auto mode. In other words, I can only get in by plugging myself directly into the control panels or connecting to the internet mode. What? Why is it such a pain? What do you expect? These systems are ancient stuff from a bygone era. They're such a headache. Actually, that isn't entirely impossible. We can draw the turret's attention and cover those so that she can head for the blind spot and hack them from there. What do you think? Does the plan sound plausible, M4? You can do it? I'll leave this to you. That won't be necessary. But won't that... Load your weapons and prepare to move. I'll try to connect to the defense system and deactivate it, but it won't stay off for too long. After that, we'll have to run directly into Tallinn City Station. Is that clear? But how can you possibly do... Tash, roll, trust and fall, get ready and wait for the signal. How does Griffin get themselves a train and not get an artillery car? It's a train, it's not an armoured train. Ready? 3, 2, 1, now. The deafening sound of artillery fire that was resounding through the streets just seconds ago comes to a sudden halt. AR-15 throws a rock outside and watches it roll along, all the way down the street without triggering any attacks. Then she walks out in the open. Start moving. Head for the station. Be snappy. The Griffin dolls dash inside the Tallinn station without a hitch. I can't believe it. All those weapon platforms around the station. That's mistake number 1 then. They don't retaliate even when we fire at them. They're completely paralyzed. They all got hacked in one go. How on earth did you do that, M4? I've been given several new modules when I went through my neural upgrades that greatly augmented my electronic warfare capability. As the leader of the AR team, I can't afford to keep putting my teammates in danger. Well done, M4. How's your neural club coping with the strain? Thanks for your concern. Could use some rest. Gotta catch my breath and let my head cool down a bit. Don't rely on it too much. Right. What were you two whispering about? Nothing. More importantly, Ro, can you do me a favor? While I was trying to hack the turrets, I detected a network node with a very busy data traffic underneath the station. I believe it's the command center of the autonomous defense system. Find that, and we'll be able to access the system mainframe of Tallinn City defenses. A node, you say? I'll set off right away, then. I'll come and help too. Finding things is my forte. No. Can you see any machine that looks like a computer or terminal? What about the customer service counter? Oh, a station control panel on the Intercontinental Railway. That would do. M4 was amazing. I can't believe she's so good at electronic warfare. You should learn a few tricks from her, Ro. That wasn't electronic warfare at all. Huh? What do you mean? Hacking into 2 or 3 machines at the same time and controlling them is achievable through electronic warfare. But the way she manipulated several dozen automated defenses was simply infiltrating an internal system that doesn't operate on the Xenonet protocol without any physical contact is utterly inconceivable. You think M4 lied to us? But why would she do that? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I have a feeling that even she herself isn't too sure how she did it. In any case, let's leave everything until the mission is over. Alright, so let me see. The switch should be here. The lights inside the station come on all of a sudden. The air conditioning system hasn't been used for years also was into action, blowing up a puff of dust. The originally silent underground section of the station is soon filled with mechanical sounds. Huh? So the power supply is still operational. That's helpful. Begin connecting. Accessing Intercontinental Railway Defense System. Good, here it is. M4, do you copy? Loud and clear. The lights came on the main course. What are you doing? Yes, the power grid in Talon is fully functional. The equipment is in such pristine condition. How should I say this? It's hard to believe all these generators in the contamination zone that's been abandoned for decades are still running normally. It's almost like as if someone was still maintaining the basic infrastructure even after the city has been sealed off. Is that so? Is the control center at the quarantine wall down there as well? No, I haven't been able to access anything related to the quarantine wall. I suppose they wouldn't have put the city's defense system together with a quarantine wall control system. Yes. Armored trains, yes. You have a point. Then what about the defense system along the railway tracks? Can you shut it down? I can only operate a small number of the turrets around the station from the control panel. A considerable amount of the defensive mechanisms are currently disconnected, but it's shown there that they're still consuming power. Have you considered playing the last train home? I have thought about it. I've seen it, and I've watched a little bit of a video on it. I am still undecided, though. Yeah. Because first of all, I would need to find time. This means that they could already be activated and have entered auto mode but disconnected from the central control room. If you can't deactivate them directly, bro, look at the power generators for me. Understandable? Yeah. I can do that. They're mostly concentrated around the power plant on the outskirts of Talon. Why do you ask? I'm going to cut off those platforms' external power supply. But even so, the weapon platforms still have auxiliary batteries and won't be put out of action immediately. It's the safest option to wait for the batteries to run out, but there's no telling how long that's going to take. Once the power supply is cut off, they won't be able to deploy the force fields as they consume a lot of energy. In their weakened state, we will be able to destroy them with ease. That's a possible solution. However, we're a fair distance away from the power plant. Judging by the map, we'll come across a lot of defensive facilities on the way. You don't have to worry about that. The commander has arranged for a very dependable backup for us. On the outskirts of Talon. Oh, we just received an additional request. Our objective is to destroy the power plant in Talon. I've just uploaded the coordinates. What? We literally just sat down. I thought I could at least take a nap. And here I thought you were just going to stand by and watch them get wiped out. We don't have to get involved in situations that they can handle on their own. We're the safety fuse. There's no point in pulling ourselves taut so soon. 9, are the explosives ready? Yeah. The drones deployed from the train will airdrop supply crates armed with explosives in 5 minutes. Remote mod creates some funny situations. The caravan consisting of an M1 Freeman just got ambushed by an angry monkey. I hope the monkey didn't win. Perfect. We'll most probably run into some resistance put up by the defensive mechanisms. I'm sure you all know the drill. This is the part where we get to earn a bonus, so perk up. Do-do. 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 I forget how dialogue heavy this is. It is very dialogue heavy. I do have a great amount of fun, though. Also, honestly, the monkey died to the MG before the cannon get to shoot. Yeah. Yeah. Considering the fact that these are goals, I'm going to save the time here, because I can let you know immediately that you spawn a unit, you, well, either I kill everything, or I move a unit here, and here. Which, there isn't much to this map, so I am completely comfortable with just saying, not gonna put the time into that one. Shackled Spirit 1. In the power plant district on the border of Talon. Also, Terry, there's another thing there, and that is, the game wasn't quite as dialogue heavy near the start of the story. However, as the story went along, a lot of little things have been set up that all need paying off, and there's a lot of story to it. Also, the monkey is trying to attack people, and the tank is not people, so he isn't even attacking. Can't even remember where he stopped. I can't tell you either. If it was fairly early, then it was probably before Chapter 8. And currently we're in Chapter 11.75. In the power plant district on the border of Talon. Status report 9. Right, I'm in. It went more smoothly than I expected. There weren't too many obstacles in the underground sewers. We should be able to avoid most of the defenses on the way to the power plant by going through here. Alright, then we'll come right after you. 416, keep an eye on G11 and bring up the rear. I may be decked with new equipment, but I'm still doing the same janitor's work. Exactly. I'm going on ahead. Hey, wake up. Ow, that hurt. What the heck? What was that for? Isn't it Sunday today? Sleep has been scrambled, has scrambled your heads, huh? Don't have time for your nonsense. We're setting off. UP-45 and 416 who's dragging G11 along gradually make their way towards the power plants, following the route that UMP-9 scouted. Are you here yet? The access port is just a short distance ahead. Right then, a gunshot muffled by a silencer comes from the end of the path. Been spotted. Stay away for now. The exit is being monitored by drones. Gunshots grow more and more frequent and are soon accompanied by numerous blasts and tremors. Oh, I'm in real trouble. Automatic mortars, drones, sentry bots. I feel like half the city's defense system is after me, 45. Hold on and don't get killed. Give me 30 seconds. Change of plan. 416 and G11 give suppressive fire to draw some attention away from 9, and cover me while I hack into the mortars to deactivate them. So you're sending G11 and me to die with 9? How very like you. I would love to watch a 416 with reloaded neurocloud and no memory of this to die again for me. That would certainly be very entertaining, but if we all get killed here, no one will be left to resurrect you. G11 with me. I moved to tears. We're helping each other like a proper family. Whoa, those shots almost got me. 45 tears off a metal cover on the wall inside the underground sewers, exposing the disorganized cables within. Then she plugs one of the cables into a port on her arm. Bingo, this does connect to the system, but there are more of them than I expected. Are you sure you can sort out the weapon platforms? If you can't do it, just admit it now. It isn't too late to abort the mission yet. Don't worry, considering you guys' track record of being unreliable, I've bought insurance beforehand. Access clearance acquired. On the count of 3. Please, someone will have got deflected by the force. Huh? All of a sudden, the defense around the power plant shuddered as if they were cold. Fight 5. She really delivered on a promise. Now's the chance. The force fields are down. Fire. The force fields stop functioning and the drone cease to make any evasive maneuvers. The turrets blow up one after the other under the hail of bullets. Easy peasy. That's the way I like it. Are you okay, UMP-9? I'm fine. Looks like it worked. Without the force fields, these defense mechanisms are about as strong as a Sangus cannon fodder. That's because these things are Sangus products to begin with. The drones, the mortars, even the surveillance devices and alarm systems. Sangus Ferry Industries had been manufacturing this military equipment even before the beginning of World War III. They predated even the production of dolls. There you are, 45. The UEW move really helped me out back there. I'm by no means an expert in electronic warfare, but Even with available pathways, isn't it normally impossible to hack a dozen mortars and drones at the same time? That's true. Not to mention I need to maintain surveillance on M4, so my processing capacity will stretch pretty thin. However, as the AR team has discovered, these defense mechanisms all operate with highly secure enclosed circuitry, but it's very convenient that the power and the data cables are in the same place. I could still render them inactive for a second or two, just barely. As for wiping them out with such a small window of opportunity, that was entirely on you. So well done on completing the objective so efficiently. We've really grown stronger, haven't we? Of course. We didn't spend all our money for nothing. Since you're also dependable, does it mean I can pack up and go home? Nope. You're getting paid, so don't slack on the job. Why? Alright, let's get back to business. Handle the explosives. 9 and I are going to blow up the power plant, while 416 and G11 continue on in the sewers and secure our escape route. 3, 2, 1... An ear-shattering blast resounds through the heavens. Pillars within the explosive plants are blown apart by the cleverly rigged explosives. As the roof collapses, the transformer and the natural gas storage tanks explode in a chain reaction. The blinding blue light sets the gloomy and the skies ablaze. The dazzling scene lasts for several seconds before the debris sent flying come crashing down one after the other. After that, 416 pokes ahead out of the sewer to survey the handiwork. This thermal power station seems to be completely destroyed. We did a really thorough job. That should paralyze at least half of the defense systems. 25, are you alright? Nah. 25 puts a hand against the forward and leans unsteadily against the wall. UP9 immediately tries to prop her up. What's wrong with 45? No idea, and he just buckled after the explosions. I'm fine, it's just there's suddenly a massive amount of signals. If we're conducting electronic warfare, I can help 45. No, just now, several dozen or maybe even several hundred signals were connecting with each other simultaneously. When the power plant was destroyed, it's as though the entire city suddenly came back to life. It's as if we resurrected something. This is M4. Hey, our team, do you copy? Do you copy? The interference suddenly got stronger to a higher location. Maybe... What on earth is happening? I was mistaken. There's more than one signal. They're coming. I know. The ringing in my ears. No, the strange noise from the deep within my neural cloud. It's getting louder. In any case, I should head to a more elevated location where the reception is better so that I can get back in touch with the others. Be careful. Yeah, I know. F-15, stop. Bro, can you hear me? We're currently under severe interference. It's possibly a temporary phenomenon caused by the electromagnetic wave from the past plant explosion. Assemble at the entrance of the train station. Having climbed to the rooftop of the Talon City station, M4 struggles to re-establish communication with their teammates. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city... Is she here? Has the seal been broken? She's here? The Savior's here? Blurry figures emerge from the rubble, one after the other. They chatter excitedly with each other, buzzing with anticipation for what is about to happen. A girl gazes towards the station rooftop and studies M4. A new body? No, she is carnage. She is destruction. No, not only that. Could you be the chosen one? Will I finally be able to leave this place? Will she be able to save me? Bound Spirit Combat. I'm going to take a look at this one, but I think it's another one of those where it's not that much of a mission. Combat mission, occupy the command post, or defeat enemies. Genuinely not that difficult. We can either defeat 3 turrets, or just capture command post. Essentially, defeat these turrets, or spawner units, go to this control terminal, open the gate, get in the gate, and turn. Win. Not that big a deal. However, as you finish this chapter, a few more story missions unlock that are side paths. Confidential Information 1, for example. Commander, please come over here. We've received an anonymous message. What is it? Information provided by Wave Tech. It seems to be an audio recording this time. Is this Wave reliable? It is indeed a very mysterious company. They've been giving us information without demanding any payments. We correspond through emails, but the sender's address is always randomized and untraceable. However, all the intelligence they've supplied so far proved to be accurate. It's uncertain why they're aiding us, but I think they should be on our side. I hope that it isn't another trap. Play the audio recording. Okay. The audio recording starts playing. Static. The rustling of movements. A button being pressed. Congratulations, my esteemed comrades. You put on quite a spectacular show in Belgrade, Chief. What have you heard now, you wily old fox? Oh, nothing. Nothing whatsoever. You simply appear to have made an incredible sacrifice. Now both the general public and the political circle of the Pan-European Union are moved by our government's great sincerity and competence. Protecting the ambassador at the cost of our own senior official's life, how absolutely touching. It's so perfect it almost feels premeditated. Premediated. Yeah. The plan went terribly wrong, though. Wimpel was this close to storming the city. It's a bit of a shame, but there's no point in holding Belgrade. Besides, we already have the pike notes. Thank goodness Kay was desperate enough to make such a risky move. The absence of state-sec forces actually made it easier to dissociate ourselves from this old business. I bet that's what you're thinking, am I right? You prattle too much, Javier. Sorry, then let me tell you something you'd like to know. You'd better extend your gratitude to that Griffin commander. The Pan-European Union is so appreciative of the protection Chairman Ulrich received under those circumstances that they've already convinced Milosevic and the representatives of the other countries in Southern Europe. That's really good news. Of course, that young lady is a very gifted diplomat. Still, despite the many demands that she has successfully lobbied on the Union's behalf, the two intercontinental railway construction projects are still going to be undertaken on terms that are acceptable to us. It's not as if they could afford to refuse the deal. The two railway projects are more in line with the Union's interests. That bastard caught wind and shoved that extremely green German young lady out as a scapegoat so that he wouldn't have to deal with this himself. He was banking on the fact that Ulrich had died. That if Ulrich had died, the Pan-European Union would have been in the position to make exorbitant demands. What a sleazy crook. But never mind that now. Tell your intermediary that the Central People's Committee is very happy with the situation with how the situation has turned out. I bet the folks sitting in the first three rows are even happier about your success in crushing the activities of the Muscovite radicalists and the military. Isn't that right, comrades? As I said, you prattle too much. This conversation ends here. And then confidential information 2. The audio recording starts playing. The loud murmuring of a discussion. A phone starts ringing suddenly and silences the entire room. The ringing persists for a long time before somebody finally picks up after a cough. Who's this? What, do you dread picking up a call from me so much? If you're so reluctant to talk to me on the phone, I can write to you next time. After all, the postbox of Lubyanka Square is much more accessible than a line of internal affairs. You can say for gibberish till I have you locked up in the interrogation room. You sound rather piqued. I don't understand. Shouldn't you be happy about being the winner of the last game? I'm certain my mood will dramatically improve if I can find out where you are calling me from and who it was that put you through. You used me to reopen the base that was supposed to remain sealed indefinitely under the Relics Treaty so that StateSec will seemingly have nothing to do with the pike notes. Now that I've done my part and you no longer have use for me, do you want to kill me? That isn't very gracious of you, Chief. I don't know what you're talking about. That's okay. It's enough that I know. You may be an ungrateful scumbag, but I won't hold it against you. That Carter got you good in the butterfly incident. I bet you still hold a grudge against him. I've prepared a gift for you. One that can send Carter to hell. What kind of gift? Evidence of Carter and his men conducting illegal research on the relics. I'm sure there's such evidence is enough for you to get them a secret execution. What do you say? Huh. And how do I receive this gift? Simple. Have someone get it for you. All of a sudden, there comes the sound of a door being blasted open, followed by a lot of clattering footsteps and the sound of metal colliding. Don't move. Get down on the floor. Clear the room. Chop chop. More continuous footsteps and the sound of a door being kicked open. Sir, the area has been cleared. The room is completely empty. All we found was a box. Oh ho, your men are faster than I expected. I suppose they are professionals. You didn't think I would be stupid enough to just sit there and let you catch me, did you? Still, I do applaud StateSec for solving my encryption algorithm so quickly. I am going to get you one day. Before that, take a good look at the box I left behind. Those coordinates are extraordinarily valuable. I look forward to seeing who you'd send over there. I wonder who that person could be that's on the phone there. I know, to be fair, but, you know. The audio recording starts playing. Some low-frequency mechanical noise and the sound of water dripping drop by drop. Metal doors are being opened one by one in the distance until the door close by is also opened. I honestly didn't expect we'd meet here. You took your sweet time. I am neither your guardian nor your parole officer. Not to mention parole is out of the question considering what you've done. Are you here to jeer at me, or perhaps you even agree with their methods? Leaving that aside, can you please tell me first what compelled you to do something as stupid as trying to seize the pipe note? Don't want to say? Then let me guess. Is it because of something that happened when you were little that made you hate everything about the relics? It's a bit of a cliche, but it's not like I don't understand the effects of childhood trauma. Still, I suppose even you can tell that Vimple had been standing by outside of Belgrade the whole time. You can't seriously believe that Chief Zelinsky would be the only counting on you and this PMC, right? In the end, everyone was the same, so I had no choice but to take matters into my own hands. Since when have you become so impulsive? I admit being a hero is a very tempting idea, but whether you're actually a hero for others is for others to decide, not you. Of course, it's not like you. I don't understand how you feel, so here I am again, ready to wipe your ass for you. Ha. You only came because you have your own agenda. Say then, what is the current situation? The chief has already delegated different tasks to them. I have a feeling that the net will soon be tightened. Naturally, the opposition's resistance will intensify, and the conflict may very well get out of hand. So? Don't let your past cloud your judgment. Seizing or even destroying that pipe node won't change anything. If you want to do something about it, you'll have to get to the root of the problem. There's a relic storage facility that's supposed to be sealed permanently in the Beldiski submarine base. The pipe node that Lyko obtained was taken from that very base. Come to think of it, you and this particular have some common history. Huh. So this was the note from the butterfly incidents. What kind of support am I going to get? I knew you'd be interested, Kay. Kay, who you absolutely despise, will be waiting for you there. Are you joking? I actually think the two of you will find this partnership very enjoyable. He knows that the area very well, which will be very helpful to you. Also, that Griffin commander will be there as well to aid you. However, they're already under heavy surveillance from the military, so they'll probably run into a lot of obstacles during the operation. But even so, I don't believe that'll be a problem. Huh. You better invest more in the commander. If you lose to Griffin, you won't be able to achieve your aim, will you? At the very least, your intermediary won't be too pleased about that. You're so well informed. My intermediary is already trying to think of a way to get poor Kruger out. After all, losing such an important business partner doesn't really sit well with us. You probably didn't know, but I even went so far as to provide them with a comfortable base and intercontinental transport. You really won't find many investors as generous as me. Alright, stop blowing your own horn. Just hurry up and get me out of this shoddy little house. Yes, yes, my lady. Glad to be of service. They sound like three separate conversations with different people. Can you make heads or tails out of them, Commander? They are probably about something important that's related to us. Wave must have a reason for sending them. I'll think more carefully on it. The conversations do seem highly relevant to the trip we're taking. That's all the recordings we have so far. I'll let you know if we receive anything new. The first one, I'm not quite sure who is talking to who. The second one, I am 90% sure that it's a conversation between a certain gentleman leading a certain faction that is definitely not aligned with us, and probably StateSec. The third one, is Javier and Angie. Almost certainly. Anyway, Chapter 2, Ghost Town. Bounce Spirit 2. Meanwhile, at the Griffin Echelon's location. This is Beacon Squad B. We've crossed the kill zone to assist you in battle. The power supply has been destroyed, so we can now enter the city center. Also, a minor earthquake has been detected over here. The defense system may extend much deeper than we thought. There's also a possibility of running into turrets that are still functional. The interference has become more severe, so we'll provide comm support through the Xena protocol and try to keep the channel clear. Copy that. Please keep in touch and eliminate any threat you encounter. Everyone, we're splitting up here to destroy our respective targets. I was prepared for it, but she really is a cold one. Hope I didn't offend her. The alarm sounds. Whoa. There's no end to these things. Right. Now that our signal tower is ready, I should get back to my cleanup duty. Cole turns off the safety of a weapon coolly and confronts the elites that are swarming towards her. Don't even think about it, infected children. And then a 50 caliber Russian machine gun just starts blasting. 1 minute and 30 seconds later, outside the entrance of Talon's city station. Phew, finally made it. Oh! What's that shouting towards me? I got to the entrance! Oh, Noah's also here! What do you mean I'm also here? I got here first! Whatever, that's not important. Comm seems to have returned to normal thanks to the other echelons. And should we head inside first, or should we wait for you? There's some elites over here, so we have to get rid of them first. I can come and help. Just stand by at your position, Swap. Huh? But I'm missing out on the fun. Just stand by. We'll do that then. F-15 should be here soon as well. What's wrong, Swap? You look weird. I thought that she had to take care of elites, but I didn't hear fire at all. Strange. Maybe they're still on some distance away from her. The defense system was just taken out after all. But didn't the commander send other T-Dots to deal with the elites? Perhaps M4 wants to help? Anyway, then F-15 will be heading over the... No, that is strange. Instead of trying to complete the mission that the commander has assigned, M4 seems more focused on her own agenda. I hope I'm just being paranoid. Bad. No Avertha. Commander, the AR team has arrived at Talon City Station. No dangers have been spotted at the location so far. Radiation levels are relatively low. We're going to widen our detection range. Commander, everything's fine, so come over here. Anyway, please give us further instructions. Understood. We will switch the tracks and guide the train to the station. Please await the signal. Meanwhile, the Griffin Echelon is on patrol. I made a total mess without meaning to. I just couldn't help it. Have I been under too much stress recently? I should find some other ways to unwind outside of fighting. An incoming transmission. Your orders. Hello, Commander. This is called. Please go ahead. Acknowledged. I shall rendezvous with SSG's Echelon and we will explore the control center together. I have no problem with carrying out 2 missions back to back. When it's finally time for a break, you could... Hello? Are you still with me, Commander? Strange. Is there a problem with the reception? As Con tries to re-establish the connection, she suddenly realizes that the fog has suddenly appeared out of nowhere. It's really foggy around here. Hailing SSG, do you copy? Can't get in touch with her either. What sounds like a branch being snapped breaks the silence and registers to Cord's auditory module. Is this Tango's ferry up? It is. The fog grows heavier. A blurry figure's coming towards her from within the haze. Who are you? You are not my kind. Are you a foe? That sounds like a girl. How odd. I can't see anything at all, nor can I detect a signal. Please don't come any closer. Whoever you are, if you don't stop right there, I'm going to open fire. So you are a foe? Can you kill me? Or would you rather I kill you? The blurry figure is getting closer and closer. Cole aims at her legs and is about to squeeze the trigger, only to discover that her finger refuses to move. What is going on? That voice didn't actually come through my auditory module. Crap, has my neural cloud been hacked? Cool, frozen in the same posture, toppled to the ground like a log. You are not our savior. Sleep well, right there. M4, can you hear me? Oh, did I space out? Sorry. Stay focused, leader. The commander has ordered us to defend the station while the other dolls search for the control center of the quarantine wall. I know. I think I sensed some unknown signals just now. Unknown signals? Like Paradeus? I don't know, but but now I definitely feel them, and their numbers are increasing. They seem to be heading this way. What? Are the real enemies finally showing themselves? I'm not sure. Ro, have you detected any life signals or mechanical signals in the vicinity? I'm only reading Griffin signals. However, it's becoming a bit foggy since a while ago, and the signal is pretty weak, so I can't be absolutely sure. Do you want me to go and scout our rounds? That won't be necessary. Just stick to the original plan for now. Hold on. What did you say? It's become foggy. That's right, the fog has gotten thicker now. And 4 runs to the station entrance. The world outside is crystal clear without the slightest bit of fog. Yep, the fog is really starting to roll in. Bro, can you hear me? I can, but the quality is getting worse. What's going on? We're pretty close to each other. Stop, can you hear me clearly? M4, what did you say through the comms? I can't hear you. Air 15. I'm not seeing any fog either. Our new reports are being probed by a lot of high-frequency connections. The fog that they're seeing is probably the simulated interference caused by the false connections. I've completely sealed off my new reports, so I'm not being affected at all. I guess we must stand alone. That's strange. If it wasn't an electronic attack, then everyone should have been paralyzed, but they're only seeing fog. What exactly are they trying to do? Perhaps this isn't an attack, but just a random connection. Connection? A high-frequency connection that hampers the Xena protocol and interferes with our doll's neural operation. The dolls correspond and share data with each other through Xena protocol. If most dolls are seeing fog, then the protocol will force your neural cloud to correct an error, so you end up seeing fog even if you don't. How much data does it take to do that? I don't want anything to meddle with my minds, be it the Parapluvirus or some other doll, which is why I choose to seal off my ports. As for you, you're different than the rest of them. You can even contain another self. That's why you can't perceive the interference. We must find the source of the connection soon, or our friends will be in big trouble. Bound Spirits Combat. I believe this is the first mission where you actually... Never mind. Now there are 4 specific notes on this map, and I don't quite remember what happens when you get to them. So I'm just gonna start going for them. Now, we haven't really had to do much combat today, which is actually quite relaxing. It's been a lot of story, though, so far. More movement points, very good. Sorry about that. So, first of all, we're going to move with that. Time to provide ourselves with a little bit of extra movement. You will move down there. And we will spawn another squad. You know what, let's move you over there. Get another movement point, which is good. I like this squad. It's kind of stupid. Actually pretty strong as well. Because for the first, I believe, 15 seconds of a battle, G36 just cannot take damage. Now, if I were to go with you there, with you here, and with you here, that should allow me to finish the mission. Which G36? That's G36C. Specifically G36 mod 3, G36C mod 3. For the simple reason that she gets a skill at mod 3, which is, or mod 2, that sacrifices a little bit of health at the start of the battle in order to make her completely immune to damage for the first 15 seconds of that battle. Well, not completely immune, to be truthful. She can't lose a dummy link, so she can lose a certain amount of health, but there's a threshold at which one of the 5 dolls would fall over that does not get penetrated. But because of the way that I coupled her with the different doll together, that at the start of the battle puts a shield onto all dolls, she is actually not losing any health. Like, she can lose health up to the threshold still, but she doesn't need to sacrifice any health because she just sacrifices the shield instead. Which is why you just see her shield chunk all the way down to that level. It's pretty nice. Captured, captured, captured. Damn. Okay. I do need to actually hold that tile, I suppose. And not just capture it for a moment. There we go. So it's kind of like the Immortals in Total War mode, which you can't lose models until you drop the morale. Well, it's only for the first 15 seconds of the battle, so she can still take a lot of damage. But 15 seconds is often all you really fight for. So yeah. Just quickly... So can the Immortals just not... none of them can fall over and die? Okay. Intangible Sigh. Except for the entire mechanic has been broken for all 3 games. So it just doesn't work at all, or what do you mean? In front of the power hub. I didn't realize it had gotten dark while I was inside. Can we sleep now? I'm tired. Why do you need sleep? You didn't even take part in the demolition work. G11, get your head off my back. I don't wanna. Your coat is all soft and warm. Let me lean against it a little more. So, ow! Get up now. You can just say it. You don't have to hit me. You slept with till your face went flat, G11. Come, get up. We've got something new and fun to do. What qualifies as fun for you is sure to be tiring. Why didn't you guys just have fun on your own? I think there was a problem with every release. I told you, you have to listen. Come now, stand up straight and stop leaning on me. 9, what are you talking about? I don't know either. Still, don't you think 45 has had a pretty intense look on her face? Who knows, we might end up being chased around again. In that case, I'm going to dump on to reduce my loads. Eh? Eh? This is the only time the G11 perks up. Stop. Bad. No honey. You might be right. Wait a minute. 45, are you talking about being chased around like in zombie movies or something? That's even worse. 416, don't leave me. I get the bat. Yeah, the bonking is very important. Fog everywhere. My legs have gone numb. I can't move. What the fuck are you talking about? And what would fuck have to do with the state you're in? Why are you in such a drama queen now? Let go of my leg. Something went wrong with her the moment she stepped outside. What's going on? Why would fog suddenly spring up on a clear day? It's normal for contaminated zones to be foggy, right? Even in a contaminated zone, encountering such heavy fog out of nowhere isn't normal either. No, this isn't fog, it's some kind of interference. Interference? But to me, it feels like it really exists. It flows when I move my hand. Still, my neurocloud's been upgraded. I can't believe I didn't notice. So thick I can't see anything. It's as if someone's trying to talk to me, but I can't make out what they're saying. I think I can hear it too, like it's probing my identity. Don't respond to it. This isn't an ordinary hacking, it's a false connection with extremely high access level. The city suddenly generates a huge number of data connections, but the data format is strange. It's not the kind that ordinary dolls would be able to pass. However, the connection density is so high that it's interfering with the Xena protocol transmissions to the point where they're changing frequencies, causing a visual processor to receive erroneous information. Scheiße. If they're trying to jam up a neurocloud processing this way, they're being too inefficient about it. If they can get around their firewalls and force a connection, then why not just directly overload and burn out our neuroclouds? So you're saying you're the only special case and you can see through this infection. Earlier, I installed a new module into the code reading system of this arm and to hack the Nitos. This is the best piece of equipment the air could get. It's holding up against this non-standard protocol data suppression attack, though just barely. Quit tooting your own horn. Can you take care of this? Of course. However, what comes next is going to be a little troublesome. 9. Take care of G11. Are we really going to do that? Piece of cake. Alright then, hang on a bit. 3 minutes later. G11's protocol pods are really weird. I've no idea how Deer came up with them, 45. I'm ready on my end. This is trickier than expected. Alright, you can open your eyes now, princess. Fog is gone? This guy's a different color from before too. What on earth's going on? I simply borrowed a trick from someone on the AR team and closed all the neurocloud access ports on your Xena protocols. We won't be able to synchronize our actions or communications through the Xena network from now on, but it's worth bearing with this for a while. We'll switch to backup radio comms for the rest of the operation. Is it over? I still want to sleep some more. Is this what AR-15 did? Didn't know it could feel so strange to be completely cut off from the Xena protocol synchronization. Do you miss being connected to me that much? As if. Alright, G11, how much longer are you going to laze around? Fine, I know, stop glaring at me, I'm getting up. Ah, it's true, the fog is gone! That's because you're not picking up the signals that are causing interference anymore. How is it? Can you see the world more clearly now? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Same as before. You were sending such lame scene to us anyway. What a pain. It looks like simple fog, but it's actually a massive data transfer into your tiny head. If it gets really bad, that huge amount of data might end up directly burning out your neurocloud. Eh? Is it really that bad? That's enough, 45. Who's going to give us support fire if you scare her silly? Just a harmless little joke. Although Griffin's forces should be in chaos now, right? Unlike modified dolls such as ourselves, general purpose IOP dolls can't close off the port so easily. Are we going to help them? Of course. Since we're taking the money for it, we've got to do work for them. My guess is that after this, they'll be looking for the quarantine ward control center. Wait a minute. What's wrong? I'm picking up a signal source that's stronger than before. It's trying to connect to any interface that I can access. But the precise location of the signal is... So this is how much your detection ability drops after you close your ports, huh? We need to get closer. 45. The signals from Griffin are starting to weaken. If we don't do something, they'll be completely cut off. Rather than waste the time helping each of them individually, we should go straight to the cause of the problem. I'm guessing that the AR team will be looking for the source of the interference too, but I can't rest easy unless I do it myself after all. Let's go then. Eliminating the source of the fog will facilitate our future operations. The last gunshot rings out through the ruins, and it takes a long time before its echoes fade away. It's finally over. We've come a long way from the power plant, and I didn't even realize it. How much further do we have to go? Keep moving forward. We should be close to the source of the interference. I didn't think we'd encounter infected creatures on the way here. These creatures have really thick hides. If this keeps up, our contract pay won't even be enough to compensate for the ammo costs. IG-11, where are you going? There's a doll here. What? Ah, it looks like she's from Griffin. But how? Let me check. Yeah, definitely a Griffin doll. I tried calling out to her just now, but she didn't wake up. Is she out of power? She's got a lot of charge left. She probably just shut down because of the connection overload. She's a new model. Given how long the fog lasted, in theory, she shouldn't have crashed so soon. So maybe she encountered something else. Looks like we're heading in the right direction. So you were guessing blindly before this? Of course not. It's just my instinct weren't validated. Since she's collapsed here, we now know for sure our target must have passed through this place. What are we going to do now? Should we just dump her here? Just leaving her out here is a little dangerous. It would be bad if she got wrecked by a passing defense mech. We'll put her in a safe place nearby, then send the commander a message so the still functioning dolls can come over and pick her up. And then Intangible Psi 1, Combat. Now, this one's a bit simple, really. It's really just defeat the enemies. Like, you can go to the command post and just end the battle. But you can only defeat 2 enemies to do that, or you just kill both of these. And, I believe, command post as well. Yes. It's either or. Not really worth you doing right now either. Funnily enough, I believe I believe this is the first event where changing to the hard difficulty does more than just that. Because it changes the map layout and everything entirely. Now, the victory conditions are also different. But still. It's not that much of a difficult mission. You essentially just need to blow up the rubble, go to the command post, done. Not that big a deal. Nameless Exiles 1. Several minutes early on Griffin's end. This is a G. What's the matter, Claude? Hello? Do you read me, Claude? What's wrong? God just sent a comms request, but I can't hear anything. It's strange, I can't re-establish comms either. There's been something off about the mood in the air since a while ago. Keep hearing something like someone asking who I am, but I don't know where the voice is coming from, like a scene straight out of a horror movie. Maybe a little too tense, leader. Still, things don't look too good. I can't pinpoint Court's location, and I can't even send transmissions to you. Something's jamming us. The fog is getting thicker. I can see clearly. Something's coming towards us. Ha! There's 2 stragglers there. Wonder what they came here for. If you're trying to imitate how a monster speaks, you aren't being grotesque enough. You ought to growl and pant more. You might also want to speak more directly and in broken sentences. You're right. In that case, should we eliminate them or leave? Our mission is to find the control center for the quarantine wall. According to the data that the AR team shared with us, the cable density in this region is very high, so it's very likely that the control center is in the sector. But now that there are enemies on the path that we must cross, we have no choice but to get rid of them. That's a leader for you. The commander has a good eye. As always. Still, this group of extras seem far too numerous. That's definitely the case, but it's within my... Look out! SSG ducks out of reflex and the laser beam streaks through the place where it has been, blasting through the fog to the other side. Why, you... Would there happen to be one of T5000 favourite actors among those extras? It's a defense system that hasn't been disabled yet. Its power supply should have been cut off after the explosion now. It's probably running on emergency power. Strange how it's running so well even after such a long time. Is it just the high quality, or has someone been maintaining this equipment all of the time? I don't know, but this is a really bad place for performance. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you can't go all out at all. The city, ours, my friends and I kill you. Now that line came up pretty well. SSG, can you tell which way it is to Talon Station? I can see it, but we can't go over there now. The fog is just too thick, so you might not be able to see it, but we've been surrounded, leader. I can hear them. They don't sound like intelligent creatures. Can you calculate exactly how many of them there are? There's at least 100 of them. I'm guessing something happened at the train station, because there's a lot of them coming from over there. The yard team's at the station, so probably isn't too much of a problem. We need to continue with our mission. ACI and Claude will probably have followed the cable entity to this area. Is this what they meant with when they say the actors have to work with each other? Roger. You catch on fast. Without further ado, let's move on. Still, I feel a little uneasy. Like there's something watching us from the dark. It's as though someone was directing this like a play. It's no good, leader. We still don't know how far we are from the command center, but the monsters are still on our heels and the defense mechanisms are too tightly packed. My processor is starting to overheat. Mine too. Ah! Two laser beams streak out from within the fog. As the Eagle manages to evade the first one with a clumsy dodge, but the second singes her. Contact close by. Get to cover. Just as Desert Eagle says that, the sound of continuous gunfire cuts through the fog and the growls of the monsters quiet down significantly. The fog starts to thin and someone stumbles hastily out of it. Sorry, I'm late, leader. ACR returning to formation. Ready for instructions. Here. Where did you run off to just now? I ducked into a building after we were attacked. Then after some fumbling around, I realized I was in the control center of the quarantine wall. It's several hundred meters away at 3 o'clock. When I heard gunfire, I rushed over and found you. The fog's really thick, so please follow me. So we found it at last. Excellent, but wait, I need to do something. What's the holdup? The commanders predicted that we might end up in a situation where our comms were cut, so we need to leave a mark to inform the people coming after us of our position. I see. Still, are there going to be other teams coming this way? I'm sure there will be. I'm sure that the commander will come to save us. A minute later in an abandoned building. Let's rest here for a bit. I've already locked the doors downstairs. Turns out the control center wasn't that far from the train station. Well, the quarantine wall is still a civilian facility, and needs to coordinate with the coming and going of trains. From the perspective of urban planning, they wouldn't put them too far apart. It looks like someone was staying here not long ago. These corridors have been swept, even if they do look pretty beat up. Feeling better, everyone? Much better now that I've had a little rest. Do you have any extra ammo? Some, but not much. I did a quick check on the area, but I didn't find too many rounds. Oh, that can't be helped. This used to be a city area after all, so that it makes sense that you wouldn't be allowed to carry guns here. How about you, leader? I'm feeling a little better too now, yeah. Yes, yeah, can you get through to the commander? Not yet. We have to communicate by voice even at such short range. The Zara protocol is all jammed up. As I thought. Can't be helped then. Since we can't get out, let's continue further inside to see if there's anything we can use. This building's pretty tall. If we get to the roof, we might be able to restore comms. That makes sense. In the past, there used to be humans called Neats who were supposed to be fierce defenders of their homes. They might have stocked up on things which is worse. Ah, yes. I don't think Neat means what you think it does, though I don't have any concrete info about them either. In any case, all we have to do is follow the leader's commands. All you have to do is follow the damn train, CJ. The interior of the building is dark, and the evenly spaced emergency lights on the ground are the only source of illumination. The sounds of Edith's gradually fade into the distance and they vanish entirely, leaving only the doll's footsteps to echo through the corridor. Leader? I'm here. What is it? I'm a little scared. The fog is still pretty thick and I can't make out our positions anymore. I'm glad that I can hear your voice, though. Is everyone still here? I can see. Everyone's here and the leader's holding a flashlight, so don't worry. Do you want me to hold your hand, ACL? I'm not. SSG, please hold me. Why are you crying? There. Don't be scared. There's some light ahead and a glass door. Let me take a look. What's the matter? Don't look, ACL. Give me a simple sit rep. There were refugees here once. They're all dead now. This all is filled with corpses. I'm fine. If it's work, then I'll be fine. You two stay outside. I'm going in. Is that really alright? I'm the team leader. With that, the Eagle walks past the teammates and pushes the door open. It stinks. They're all swollen up. They must have been dead for several days. Should be fine. SCR keep watch at the door. SSG and I will examine the place in detail. If this is a normal script, there ought to be some kind of clue in a place like this. Oh yes, be careful. There's dirty water all over the ground. Alright. Several minutes later, there doesn't seem to be anything of value left behind, just corpses. Even if there were, it'd probably be soaked. Still, we might be able to learn a lot from the clothes. You check the left side, I'll check the right. Roger. Oh, Leader, there seems to be something inside this coat. Leader, behind you. Forewarned by a teammate, this eagle fires behind her without any hesitation. A dull bursting sound echoes through the room and a torrent of filthy bodily fluids sprays forth. Suddenly animate again, even though they've been dead for several days. Is this some kind of virus? This one's moving too. The rotted corpses slowly rise up. The dolls take a clear look at the swollen faces. While the features are somewhat hard to make out, they all have the same expression. Their faces are all contorted in what could only be the utmost terror and despair. Honestly, things really can't get any worse than this. However, this will be where we end our stream for today. And as revealed by... God damn it, Walter. And as was revealed by the story so far, the prediction so far, well, what would you guess? I'm going to give it away, honestly, because I obviously have played this event before. And while at the moment, we have not seen any Paradise, we have not seen any Sangus Ferry, and we haven't seen any of the military, the answer is not actually other. While during the first part of this event, there is a lot of focus on these very unknown enemies that I'm not going to spoil anything about. The latter part of the event is actually very focused on you fighting a certain old friend. What was the girl then? It was not Paradise, it was not SF, it was not the military. However, essentially, the girl was a quote-unquote other faction. But as I said, this is only the first part of the event. The latter part of the event has us focus entirely on focusing the fight against the military. Because, oh baby, Yegor is back. And that man is the biggest motherfucker. Anyway. Yeah, it's a bit of a funky event. I really, really like this one. But for now, I'm gonna have to end my stream. So, let me see who I can raid for today. We have a few choices. We have a few choices. Let's go and say hello to... Assume the guy would be military. Which guy? Jaeger? Jaeger is military, that's why you won. I told you, it's the military. The latter part of the event focuses on the military. I'm actually going to go and rate someone called Tetsi who is currently playing Reverse 1999. I mean, the girl, the doll, was the other faction. They're not actually part of any faction that is in. But the event itself focuses very much on fighting against the military. So yeah. Anyway, I am going to go and end my stream for today. I should be back tomorrow with something else. It might be Boats or Grim Dawn. I'm not quite sure. I still haven't received any information about what is planned for tomorrow. Anyway, thank you very much for being here, though. Have a good night, and I hope to see you again. Bye.